Hello, everyone! A few days ago, we've received just a ton of new secrets and insights from Boom himself. And not only was it really funny, but also pretty cryptic and intriguing. Boom is a master of not giving any direct answers when he's being asked certain questions about the future of his Skibidi Toilet series, which makes the job for us Skibidi analysts even more interesting. So today I'm going to review the most cryptic answers that Boom gave to both Steak and Elite Cameraman a few days ago, and then I'll make my own predictions and theories on what we might see in the future episodes of Skibidi series. What Boom doesn't want us to know about Astro Toilet's hierarchy yet? What will actually happen to the trio of Titans, and to Titan TV Man especially? And what are we going to see in Speakerman's laboratory? And why exactly is episode 74 so important that Boom doesn't want to spoil it even now? Now get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video to the end, because I saved the best prediction for later. Let's go! But before I'm going to deep dive into the predictions part, I would like to address one pretty significant thing first. I've been analyzing Boom and theorizing on his Skibidi series for a really long time, so I know this guy's most favorite tricks and strategies when it comes to spoiling the leaks for the next episode or even the general lore of the series. So I know that when he plays it sneaky or sussy, sometimes there is always a reason for it. Maybe it's something he doesn't want to reveal to us way too soon yet. Or maybe it's something so important that must be concealed until at least several more episodes will be released. So in this video, I'm going to discuss everything that you need to know about this because I surely have my own guesses about that matter. Okay? And now let's jump to the parts of these two interviews that interested me the most. So I would like to start with a prediction regarding Astro Toilet's hierarchy, because we started talking a lot more about this fraction, didn't we? And so far it goes along with Boom's initial promise that he reveled a few months ago in an interview to one popular Russian YouTuber that as more episodes of Skibidi Toilets come out, we'll see more types of Astro Toilets. And that with time, they can even overthrow Skibidi Toilets in terms of quantity, popularity, and the importance for Skibidi plot. So I feel like it already starts happening, because Boom doubled this promise in both interviews to Steak and Elite Cameraman when he mentioned that we'll see more of Astro Toilets. And it will be not only ordinary soldiers, but also some bigger fish in the sea. And in my previous video, I've already mentioned that I expect this new Titan who we already saw before to be heavily upgraded Astro Juggernaut, who could have come back in the next episode for revenge. Because we know that every race has only one Titan, so it's possible that Astro Juggernaut will be transformed into the Titan-like creature in terms of battle power for the whole Astro Toilets race. Because right now, he seems to be the most powerful Astro Toilet in his fraction. And we're also about to see some Astro Troopers soon too. And now let's talk about the trio of Titans. Despite all these eerie implications that Titan Cameraman and Titan Speakerman can walk themselves into a freaking fight right in such a poor state they are right now, I still have major hope that they still will be carried to one of the Alliance's laboratories to get some upgrades. Or there is a possibility that they will actually get dragged into some fight along the way, but they will also get pulled out of it pretty soon, and then they'll get into Speakerman's laboratory. That Boom also teased a bit in this interview with Elite, by the way. And it's possible that in this laboratory we will finally see the major upgrade for Titan Speakerman, who still remains to be the least upgraded Titan in the current trio of Titans, by the way, so it would be really cool to see someone finally doing this Red Chad justice. And I also hope to see other Elite Speakerman agents entering the action, such as gray-suited Speakerman who accompanied Camerawoman in the first part of episode 73. And what if we'll see more other Speakerman characters we've never seen before, such as Speakerman engineers, scientists of more elite agents? But there's also another thing I want to talk about this Speakerman's laboratory. Not only Titan Speakerman is the most underrated Titan so far, but Speakerman's race in general is pretty concealed and we don't know much about their lore and hierarchy. So I have really high hopes on this Speakerman's laboratory that we're about to see soon, because we can finally learn something new about their race as a whole. And if I'll dig even a bit deeper, then I'll say that this laboratory may also be somehow connected to the lab we saw in Camerawoman's flashbacks that was belonging to Group C, meaning cameramen. So what if this Speakerman's laboratory will show us their own scientists, and we will learn something about another experiment that could have been conducted in the past by some Group S, for example, that had later become Speakerman. But there is also possible that we won't see Speakerman's base in episode 74 yet, and it will happen later. So maybe that's why Boom didn't say the exact number of an episode this base will be featured in, because it won't be in episode 74. So maybe instead, the events of the next episode will be focused on infiltration of the last Skibidi base we saw in the secret scene. And it's possible that what Camera Woman, Elite TV Man, and the Cameraman with the flamethrower will find there is about to change the course of the whole series. Or maybe they can find some special character in there, you know? Someone that we've already met. And now it's time to touch the most interesting prediction I've got in store. And it's about the character, which is one of my favorites in the series, actually. This time I'm going to speak a lot about Simp Cameraman, and I've been anticipating his reappearance for a really long time now, and you can see that the oldest video I had made about him was released 5 months ago. Yes, guys, you've heard it right. I really wanted this guy to come back to the series, and I didn't lose hope all these years of waiting, even when it seemed to me that everything is lost. So we started getting first signs of Simp Cameraman's return about a month ago, although it wasn't confirmed by Boom 100% at the time. He was dropping an info in one of his earlier interviews that we may see a comeback of Elite Cameraman scientist I was waiting such a long time for as well. Plungerman, the Black Speakerman, and yes, also Simp Cameraman. But he didn't say anything specific about the date of his return or anything about his plot arc. So we were still free to speculate on that matter that I also did in this video. And now we know exactly that he will return in episode 74, which is the very next episode, and it won't be his last time when he appears in there. That was everything I waited for. And even more so, right now, I've prepared a few crazy predictions on what might happen to Simp Cameraman in episode 74 and what his fate going to be. First thing first, I can see a possibility that Simp Cameraman can become the POV of the next episode, just like it happened with the Mecha Scientist in episode 72, which surprised us all a lot. And plus, don't forget how Boom started picking more significant or unique characters for being the POVs of his latest episodes, such as Plungerman, Mecha Scientist, or Camera Woman. So it's really possible that we'll get to the Simp's shoes next. But there is one detail that made this prediction even more interesting, and even a little bit confusing. The thing is that it's possible for Simp to return, not in a form of protagonist or member of the Alliance at all, but in a form of someone completely different. Let me explain, though, as I have different options about Simp's character. So I have a theory that Simp Cameraman will appear in the series while not being on anybody's side, meaning the Alliance or Skibidi Army combined, because he could have felt so betrayed by the Alliance and TV Woman so that he might pursue his own goals and seek revenge instead. But in this case, how would he survive and get repaired without anyone's help? There are two possible explanations. First is that he could be rescued and taken to the cameraman's laboratory by Alliance engineers or medics, but we just weren't shown this on the screen after episode 57. And there he could have been upgraded by Mecha Scientist himself, who experienced a similar injury like his in episode 48. And we also know that he's a pretty talented scientist who may be responsible for repairing and upgrading Titan Cameraman in episode 23, as it was shown on one of Camera Woman's flashbacks. So in this case, we would see Simp Cameraman return in a robotic exosuit, similar to the one that Mecha Scientist wore in episode 72. But there is also another option. What if Simp Cameraman was left alone on the battlefield feeling betrayed by both TV Woman and the Alliance? And then at the very last moment, he could have been picked up by the Skibidi Army in order to either to extract information or recruit him as a spy. So in this case, we could see Simp Cameraman return as an agent for the Skibidi Army, possibly fighting against the Alliance or acting as a double agent. Or what if I'll take this scenario even further and say that it may be Astro Toilets whose side Simp may be on? Because I still remember one of the Astros lurking in search for some fallen cameramen's bodies at the end of episode 71. So maybe Simp could have been picked up that way. And he would play a similar role that the white terracotta brother is playing right now. And by the way, why did everyone forget about this guy so easily too? His plot arc isn't over yet, and I bet he may be involved in something crazy later as the series will be evolving. And that was all for today. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, hit the like button below and also be sure to write a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube and Discord channels not to miss my new interesting videos.